there guys, what's up? Ragtter here, welcoming you back to Ladder Anxiety. You'll notice we are not on Pokémon Showdown today, we are instead on the Pokémon trading card game online, and I figured it would be nice to change things up a little bit. So I'm going to look for an opponent with my Raikou deck, and this Raikou deck is all about getting energy onto Raikou using Mega Man Electric, so that I can take down pretty much anything, and Raikou itself is quite bulky. So I'm going to lose the coin flip. My opponent's actually got some pretty neat stuff here, so I might be against a pretty good person. We might not walk out the victor here, but that's okay. Just like on Pokemon Showdown, you don't have to win to have fun. Losing will teach me a lot about the flaws of my deck, if there are any, so that I can make it better. I said if there are any. That's pretty funny. Of course my deck has flaws in it. I'm not a professional builder. Alright, so I can see right away what my opponent wants to do. It's going to try to harass me with Trevenant Break, and it's going to try to turn my attacks against me. So I've got a pretty tricky opponent right here. He's a very smart player, I can tell just by his deck. Well, I hope at least. Alright, so he's going to get to check out his deck a little bit. Gonna get some energy onto Gengar immediately. So now he can play one onto Phantom and next turn start causing some problems. Actually, he's just gonna put one right onto the Gengar. So he's looking to harass me as soon as possible. I need to do something about this. So I'm going to slap an energy onto my Nectric, and I'm also going to use my Muscle Band. Now, I don't want to help my opponent draw, but I do need something else on the bench if my Nectric goes down. So I'm going to play the Judge to get... Well, that doesn't really help me too much, but this could be pretty good. Alright, so let's throw down our Trainer Mail, and that's going to let me grab this item here. Or this trainer card here, rather. I'm going to toss down my Rough Seas. And now let's go for an attack. And I'm going to deal some damage to that Gengar because I need that to not be around anymore. Next turn I absolutely need to draw another Pokemon though, because otherwise I'm going to be in a severe amount of trouble. I will lose if Manectric is the only Pokemon I have and it goes down. But again, that wouldn't be so bad. It might tell me that I need to... So he's going to pick up the... I know, go away. Done. He's going to pick up the Phantom, put it back in his hand, play it down here, and now Gengar's out here, and it's going to be mean to me. So he's probably going to switch that Phantom up to the front or to the Sudowoodo. Could go either way. He's going to deal 60 damage to me and poison me. He's going to go look for a Shaymin-EX, which he's going to play, and that's going to let him get 6 cards into his hand. So his hand is basically refilled now. And he's going to play a Robo Substitute, so that's what he's going to send out. He's going to retreat Gengar, hide behind these Robo Substitutes, so that I can't claim prizes. It's a very good strategy. I have a very smart opponent here. And unfortunately, there might not be a lot I can do about that. Alright, so we're going to get Remoraid. And then... I don't want to have to do this. Well, first of all, let's heal up Manectric. But I'm going to use my Psychic's Third Eye. I want to see what other 4 cards my opponent has. A couple Float Stones and a Dimension Valley, so nothing too dangerous just yet. Then I'm going to discard these 2 guys. That's not good. And the connection to my opponent has grown weaker, so that's extra super duper fun. Oh, but wait. Oh, these things have 30 HP. That's not going to be enough to knock out another Robo Substitute, so that's unfortunate. But I'm going to go for the Overrun, and we're going to deal more damage to that Gengar. In time, I will be able to pick up the KO onto it. I just need another Pokemon. So my sub is going to go down, or his sub is going to go down. I'm not going to get a prize for that quote-unquote knockout. He's going to start powering up the Sudowoodo. So this is obviously a bit of a troll deck. He's going to throw away my Rough Seas, which is annoying to say the least, but can't really be helped. I'm going to take a lot of damage. The Robo Substitute's going to come back out, and Gengar's going to hide away. Oh, now that's helpful. But I don't want to throw either of these cards away just yet. But the 7 cards is hard to pass up, so I'm going to do it. It's just an Ultra Ball and a Versus Seeker. I do have multiple copies of both of those. And I still do not have a single other Pokemon to play. This is really unfortunate. This is actually really, really bad. So I'm going to go down to the next Gengar attack. I'm actually just going to concede here. I can't really come back from this with the hand that I currently have. So, we will take our 1 token. And let's look for another game. No shame in losing. I honestly got some bad draws there. You can lose a lot more easily because of bad luck in this game than you can in Pokemon, and that's pretty surprising to say considering Focus Miss and Stone Miss are a thing, but it's a trading card game. That's why in VGC's tournaments the matches tend to be single elimination, but TCG matches are best 2 out of 3. So we're going to have some connection issues again to our opponent, but I do win the coin flip. Hey, tails never fails. So I'm going to choose to go first in this match. And I get a Manectric and I get an Octillery, which is not the best. But I can use one of these Ultra Balls to find Remoraid on turn 1. So that makes me pretty happy. So let's slap an energy onto the Sudowoodo. Not onto the Sudowoodo, onto the Manectric EX. Another Sudowoodo. How bizarre. That's the second one. And I'm going to use an Ultra Ball to toss the Professor's Letter and the Versus Seeker, because I don't need either of those. And I'm going to look for Remoraid. So next turn I can start getting my draw on, courtesy of Remoraid's, or Octillery's ability, and we'll end our turn there. Alright, so let's see what our opponent wants to do in retaliation to all of that. Hopefully, it takes him the full 2 turns to set up with that Sudowoodo. Actually, even if he couldn't, Sudowoodo can attack this turn because I didn't fire off an attack. But my overrun is going to be very, very dangerous to my Remoraid, so I should probably not attack him until I get a second energy going so I can use my Assault Laser. It would be really optimal if I could get my Mega Manectric Spirit Link so that I could Mega Evolve right away, but we'll have to see. Oh god, I don't want to take 120 damage from Sudowoodo. Wait, no, that's really bad. If I attach a tool card to this, then that... I'm going to take 120 damage from the Sudowoodo if it uses my Assault Laser. But actually, it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. Looks like my opponent going to be focusing on the Metatite, which is not upsetting to me in the slightest bit. Alright, so he's got a rare candy. Got a Machop, Metatite, and Sudowoodo. And I get Professor Birch's observations. Okay, I'm going to lay down Octillery. And I'm going to play Professor Birch's, because if nothing else, I'll get to draw 2 cards, and then... Actually, this is perfect. So now I can play this, I can play my Manectric, and then we can use Abyssal Hand to get to draw 3 cards. Perfect. Now we can play Raikou. I'm not going to attach a tool card to this. But maybe I should. No, I'm going to save it for the Spirit Link. Yeah, I'll save that for next turn. So now, let's go... I'm just going to go for the Assault Laser. I don't have a tool card attached. He doesn't have the energy on the Sudowoodo. I'm just going to look to pick up the KO as quickly as I can. Hopefully next turn, if I can make the draws work out properly, then I can get Mega Manectric EX on my side. So Machamp is going to come out, and each of his fighting type Pokemon's attacks are going to do 20 more damage. So against my electric type deck, you can imagine this is pretty devastating. If I could pick up another Lysander, that would really swing things my way. So now it's going to become Metacham, and Metacham can attack twice in 1 turn. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. So now, let's toss the Ultra Ball and this electric type energy, or lightning type energy in this game, get my Mega Manectric EX, Pop this bad boy down. I'm gonna do it. Let's hope, cross our fingers that we get a Lysander. My opponent's actually just gonna forfeit from that. Well, I guess we were pretty set up that game. Let's look for one more and see if we can't end on another complete game. We're 1 for 1 right now, but if I could lose in a complete game, then I would feel a bit better about this episode of Letter Anxiety. Hopefully we win, because winning is nice, but even just having a good game would be really nice. Alright, so I've lost, so Mepari is gonna decide she wants to go first. Again, we've got connection issues to the opponent. Are the servers just being very weak tonight? So I'm gonna get Raikou out, and this is actually not an optimal start for me. This is actually pretty bad. My opponent's got a pretty weird deck, though, from the looks of it. Probably Noivern and Break, if I had to take a guess. But having Raikou out here, I've actually got to switch, so maybe this won't be so bad. Having Raikou out here means that I can't... Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Having Raikou out here means that I can't constantly funnel energy to it from Mega Manectric EX. So I'm going to take... I want to take Giovanni's Scheme, but I'm not going to get the most out of the draw right now. I'm not going to get the most out of any of these cards right now, actually. I could play Giovanni's Scheme and try to draw one card, but I'm going to save it. Hopefully next turn I get something else I can play instead. So he's immediately going to evolve into Noivern. And that's going to let him draw a lot of cards, actually. Or he can go right for the Air Slash and put a severe dent into my Raikou. And that tells me I really need to get another Pokemon onto the bench, or I'm going to suffer some heavy damage. But I say again, that's okay. Because it tells me what my deck is good against and is bad against. And I have literally never seen this type of matchup before, so let's take a look-see at this one. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If heads, prevent the damage. Boom Burst. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, pretty strange. So I hang in there only because of my Shining Body ability. Alright, I'm going to play Remoraid. I'm going to play out my Lightning Energy. And then I've got to hope that Giovanni's Scheme gets me something, or we are pretty much dead in the water. We are pretty much dead in the water. But let's fight it out. So I'm going to go for the Rough Seas. Heal a bit from Raikou. I could go for the switch. That would give my opponent a prize card, and it would cost me my Remoraid. But it would save my Raikou. I'm going to do it. So let's get Remoraid up into the front. It's going to take the hit for us. And we've just got to hope that we get something better on the next turn. Because if not, then this game is kind of a lost cause for us. But we shall see, we shall see. So he's going to get the energy back onto Noivern. Pretty unsurprising. Or she, rather. Sorry. Going to switch out into this Noivern instead. Does this deck have a means of attaching from the discard pile? Gonna draw 3 cards. Maybe my opponent's just looking to gain some momentum while I'm down. Oh, I do not want to play Professor Sycamore right now, but Judge is good since my opponent just filled up their hand. Okay, so I'm gonna slap an energy onto Raikou. Let's use our Rough Seas once again. And now, we are in a much more advantageous position because next turn I can bring in Raikou. It'll be doing 100 and... Actually, I've got the item attached to it, so it'll be doing lots and lots of damage with its Thunder Lance. Hopefully I can switch Remoraid out of here. I can actually pick up the KO onto this Noivern, so please no Noivern break. I can get Remoraid out of here, hopefully draw Octillery, so that we can get our draw engine going. And then I just have to attach energy to Raikou. This is not the optimal way to play the deck. Normally you want Mega Manectric to be... Oh dear. Normally you want Mega Manectric to be funneling the energy to Raikou, but... If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, this attack does 80 more damage. Okay. This is not good. This is a bad thing. This is a bad thing that has happened to me. So I'm going to slap an energy onto Remoraid just for the sake of maybe getting the withdrawal going. Can use my Rough Seas to put Raikou back into healthy HP. Then we're going to Professor Sycamore to get a new hand of cards. Alright, this is more like it. So now we're going to retreat out of Remoraid, back into Raikou. We're going to bring out Manectric, both Manectrics. We're going to play Octillery. We're going to use our Ultra Ball to toss the Psychic's Third Eye and one of my Lightning Energies. And we're going to look for... I want to look for Mega Manectric EX. But I also want to look for another Raikou. I'm going to look for Mega Manectric EX. There's always the possibility I can draw another one of the Spirit Links. So now let's get some more cards going my way. Alright, now I've got Lightning Energy for days. I've got a Lysander, so I can really mess up my opponent's strategy. Let's go for Thunderlance. And we are going to be able to pick up the KO onto the Noivern, even though it took us quite a while to get set up. So now, this puts me in a pretty good spot, actually. If he gets the energy off, I do lose Raikou to this. But I am significantly more set up than I was before. So I'm not the most worried. I'm ahead on prize cards, even if it is only by one. I can use Lysander to bring up that Octillery to stop my opponent from drawing. But that's assuming Raikou makes it to the next turn. See, this double dragon energy basically means that it counts for 2 energy at a time, and it can be every type of energy. So this right now is accounting for the dark and the psychic type energy, and the colorless, but only 2 of those. So he's doing 120 damage, and I am... Wait, do I live that? Reduced by 20. I live that. I live that with 10. So now, he can't be affected by special conditions. Gonna Mega Evolve into another Noivern Break. But does he have the energy to hurt me? He's gonna evolve that Haunter. Leaving us... Wait, does that... Oh, I see. That's a good strategy. Okay. But does he have the energy to attack me with? This is ending up to be a much longer episode than I intended. So we do not have the same number of cards in our hand, so probably going to go for the Air Slash attack. My opponent is really taking their time on this. But my Raikou is a significant threat. It can't be overlooked. I wish I had a means of removing special conditions. I've already used my switch, though. I could put out one of the... Okay, so he's just going to go right for the attack. And it's the big one. Discard one of his energy. So... Oh, another Raikou. Perfect. So I've got a choice here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat out of this Raikou. I'm going to go into this Manectric. I'm going to attach an energy to it. I'm going to use my Rough Seas to heal up this Raikou. And then I'm gonna basically blow my turn, but I'm gonna Mega Evolve my Mega Manectric EX. So now I'm doing 110 damage per turn. Not only that, but I'm ciphering energy from these Pokemon, or from my discard pile, to my other Pokemon. And this Gengar, Sinister Fog, poisoned, put 1 damage counter. Okay, I see what my opponent's going for. Deal lots of damage with the Noivern and the poison, and then bring in the Gengar to finish things off. It's a very tricky strategy. I bit my tongue the first time I said that and it sounded wrong. But I think I stand a chance here. I don't think I'm out of the game just yet. Even though my opponent does have a bit of an advantage on me. Just in terms of, well, actually, do they really? I don't think so. I think we're pretty even right now. Now, if they get more energy, then that's going to be a different story. But, okay, that is another energy. Which attack are they going to go for? We have the same number of cards in hand, so you can do a bit more damage than the Air Slash. It is going to go for it, 150, so I'm not going to survive to the next turn. But I don't really need it to. So I'm going to put an energy onto the Mega Man Electric EX. I'm going to slap down another Raikou. And then let's go for Rough Seas once again. Now, the question here, if I go for Lysander, I can pick up an easy prize card. But, actually, yeah, I'm going to knock out that Ghastly. I also want to knock out the Octillery, though. Let's see what I get if I go for my Octillery. I get an Ultra Ball and a Professor Sycamore. So if I go for Lysander, I can bring any of these Pokemon to the front lines and make them suffer. Let's do it. Let's bring Octillery up here, because then I can get rid of my opponent's draw engine. And then I'm also getting a prize card, and then I can put more energy onto Raikou here. So I'm going to get another Lysander. So that works out perfectly because I can do that again. I can bring Raikou out, and I can use it to severely dampen my opponent's Gengar. Now the question is, will my opponent bring out the Noivern, knowing that if they do, and they KO my Mega Man Electric EX, that my Raikou picks up the KO afterwards? And this is not the one that can become immune to attacks, no. So this one is just going to have to take it. Any damage I do is going to be permanent. Oh, this is why the TCG is pretty exciting, because it's taken a real topsy-turvy way to get here. I honestly don't know who's going to win this game. It all falls down to what my opponent decides to do, and how I'm not going to play any cards, just going to go straight for the knockout onto Mega Man Electric EX. That is fascinating. Alright, time to bring Raikou back out. Now what do I do? I'm gonna go for the Ultra Ball to thin my hand a little bit. So I'm gonna toss one Professor Sycamore and one Professor Birches. I'm gonna use this to look for another Raikou. So we'll play this bad boy. Then this will allow me to use Octillery to get 2 cards going. And I get my Super Rod and... If I go for the Sycamore, I'm tossing a lot away. I'm going to go for the Super Rod. I'm going to put these and this guy back into my deck. Then I'm going to use Professor Sycamore to trash this end. Alright, that looks significantly better, honestly. And now I'm going to go for the Trainer Mail. And I'm going to take the Versus Seeker from that, because getting my supporter cards back is never a bad thing. Then we're going to Rough Seas. And then, let's hit it with Thunderlance. So that's my opponent's big attacker done and gone with. That leaves me to deal with the Gengar as my opponent's big thing. And I got an Assault Vest. So if my opponent plays a special energy onto one other Pokemon, I can use a different Raikou that will be less susceptible to damage because of that now. So let's see how my opponent responds. Going to go into the Ghastly. So I'm imagining the evolution into Haunter is coming out. But I actually have options for this. I can switch out of this Raikou. I can put an energy onto the Manectric. I can switch him out. and then I can pick off the Haunter. Or I could Versus Seeker my Lysander back, and then use that to knock out the Gengar. What an exciting game, honestly. Like, we are both down to a very small amount of cards in both of our decks. We've taken a lot of prize cards each. And my opponent fishing for energy now. Her deck is getting quite thin. Does she have the Haunter to go with this Ghastly? If not, I fully... Okay, alright. So looking for a Pokemon that evolves, doesn't have it. So that means it's prized. And my opponent couldn't forfeit at that. Couldn't get the cards that she wanted to pull off her strategy. And that is a-okay with me, because that was a long game, but a fun game. I'm almost to 2 tournament tickets. And that's my Raikou deck. I'm honestly going to be playing with that a little more. I want to take that into tournament mode, and I want to show it off on some more Ladder Anxiety as I tweak it. So, if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Ladder Anxiety, then please let me know with a like and a comment down below telling me just how much fun you've had, and if I've helped you to relax at all, or maybe because of how exciting that game was, you're all pumped now. If I've also helped to expose you to the Pokemon TCG, then let me know that as well, because I think a lot more people should be playing this game. It is a lot of fun. It is a great, great game. So again, tell me if I've helped you get into this at all. And I will see you guys next time when we return to Ladder Anxiety and the game we're playing at the time. Until then, be sure to take care and have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye!